Swag, swag, drip, drip. Yeah, we coming for them ships. Swag, swag, drip, drip. Eating everybody, we don't need a bib. Swag, swag, drip, drip. Everybody tripping, slipping on my drip. Got the swag and we drip. Got the swag and we drip. Swag, serving the sauce. We yellow but wins, we ain't taking the loss. And we got attitude, niggas, you fellas. Game recognized game, you ain't looking familiar. Y'all trying to diss, but worry your wins. You lacking the swag, we came with the drip. Now it's prime time and that's worth the way I'm a director in the game. And that's where they're robbing. Got me dripping in the swag. Squad is catching bodies, put them in the bed. Really ain't too much to say. We won't never be afraid. Y'all been waiting on the 10. Now we do this every day. Knowledge dripping, nothing knocking, crossing wits and get you got the swag. Swag, swag, drip, drip. Yeah, we coming for them ships. Swag, swag, drip, drip. Eating everybody, we don't need a bit.
Yo, good evening, everybody. Let me make sure you can hear me. What's good, what's good, what's good? I am Wednesday Marshall, aka the Swaggy Blurred, and welcome to the stream, man. We are just gonna kick it today. Like I said, we didn't get a chance to really set up a full-on blur breakdown with like news and whatnot, but there were some stories that came out. Talks about Chloe Bennett potentially joining the MCU. Got Snoop responding to all the controversy behind Lightyear. We'll cover both of those, but we're just gonna kick it today. For those that watch Blazing Saddles with me, I'll give my full thoughts, and as I mentioned previously, you'll see the edited out version of that hopefully by the end of the week. That's the goal. So I'm only going to stream for a couple hours here just because, you know, to that point, I want to make sure that I'm giving myself plenty of time to edit these videos. I'm going to be doing a lot more reactions here for those that are Capes and Cows fans. I'm sure you heard the sad news that Capes and Cows isn't going anywhere, but Coy is for the time being leaving the show. He's not necessarily leaving the channel, but we can't really do more, DC news and rumors and stuff with us because he works for the DC. Just kind of a conflict of interest. Shout out Danny Banks. Thanks for the sub. Appreciate it. Shout out to everybody that's coming in. But yeah, so he will be doing something else on the channel, but I will be sticking there on Fridays. And then I will be doing movie reactions, like watch and all that kind of stuff on Christian's channel as well. So it's going to be a lot going on, man. I'm excited to have more stuff pop off. I think my favorite part right now is the fact that, how do they do all that? What the hell? Is the fact that stuff is kind of moving, y'all. Like, I don't want to, as far as, for those that know, I'm obviously, you can see down there the proposal plan goal and everything. We've got an official date set, which is dope. The problem is it's a lot of moving pieces. I have a lot of various people involved, so it's kind of trying to make sure everybody's in town and available and trying to do it in secret. It's a lot easier now with Kristen on vacation. But yeah, it's been some great shit. But yeah, it's good shit. So let's start off. Let's talk some Blazing Saddles, man. I'm gonna keep playing here. Right now, I'm trying to remember where I'm supposed to go. I think I was supposed to like go to this. I think her name is what? Eiko. It would be Eiko. I'm supposed to go to her house because that's where maybe this is it. Oh shit! Random fight. And then keep it pushing. But I'm trying to figure that out right now because I haven't played in a couple days. But let's talk Blazing Saddles, man. I gotta say, I've said this before. Mel Brooks is one of the GOAT. Is one of the GOAT comedic directors. Like maybe like 1,000% on Rushmore. So many bangers. And Blazing Saddles is one of them. I was taken aback by the ending because it got kind of crazy there, but it was a good fucking time, man, and I'm glad that I finally saw it. I mean, it's been years. People have been like, I can't believe you haven't seen that shit. But it's been dope. It has been dope as shit. The funny thing is, you can tell, like most artists, you get better the more you work and the more you work on your craft. I think the pacing of Robin Hood Men in Tights and Spaceballs was a lot better than Blazing Saddles. They obviously were later movies in his filmography, so like that's where I think that worked out a little bit better. Some of the jokes here that I think were absolutely fucking hysterical, like you know, old tropes, but like funny shit. Like obviously him playing like the governor and trying to bang his secretary, and then the whole thing about you know, I heard your people are different. What kills me is how incredible of an actor the guy who played Sheriff Bart. Forgive me if anybody in the chat knows the name off the top of his head, because I can't really, I guess, play and look it up, or if you just know. So fucking funny. I knew Gene Wilder was, but so funny of an actor that played Bart. It's also funny to finally know where the white women at comes from. I legitimately thought RB3 was just saying that shit on his own. Did not realize that was something coming from Blazing Saddles. Quick moment to just shout out everybody in the chat. I always said hi to Matt's bitch ass, but ZB, I see you. Stephanie Litz, I see you. Scott Walsh, I see you. What's up? Richard Fearing, what's up? Free Pancakes, what's up? Thank you all for coming in and hanging with me. I appreciate you. But yeah, man, he was so Cleveland Little. Thank you. Why are you typing in all caps the whole time, Matt? Are you having a stroke? What's going on, bro? Like, you don't have to be in all caps all the time. But yeah, man, I thought he was absolutely hysterical, and I feel like if you were going to do like a remake now or a sequel, I feel like if you could get Donald Glover to tap into his energy from Community and have him paired up with like Neil Patrick Harris, I think that shit could be fucking hilarious. If I had to like cast a remake or a sequel. But you know, I thought it was really dope to see. I mean, you know, the fact that Madeline like got a nomination, an Oscar nom for that, and I am very vocal about how I feel like comedy is actually harder, and I don't think gets enough credit from the Oscars. I want to say the last comedic performance to win, it couldn't be as far back as My Cousin Vinny, but it might be. And the last nomination I can remember off the top of my head was probably Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder. But I guess you could make the argument about Barbie, because it was really a comedy more than anything. So like America Ferrera getting that nod, I think might go there. But I feel like even as good as it was, most of her nomination really came from that incredible speech she gave. Like, she was good throughout the movie, but that speech was something else, which is obviously a little bit more dramatic. But back to Blazing Saddles. I mean, the full fourth wall meta like brawl through the Warner Brothers lot was hysterical, bro. And then like the Fred Astaire number that they were doing that they interrupted and shit had me dying. The food fight had me dying. Like, so good. The fact that it's a perfect replica of the town. No, it's not. But that shit was hilarious. Oh, baby, you're watching in Costa Rica? What's up? Holy shit. That's hilarious that you guys... I'm surprised that you're on Twitch instead of YouTube, to be honest with you. That's kind of crazy, but good to see you, baby. I hope you're having a good time. Ladies and gentlemen, my lady who is on vacation in Costa Rica with one of her best friends right now, I guess, is home for the evening, and has joined us over on Twitch. Uh-oh, did I freeze? I think the game froze, damn. Okay, that's fine. We will come back to the game. But yeah, I think it's one of those movies, man, that you could tell it makes sense where some of the joke stylings that you then see later on, again in Spaceballs and in Robin Hood Men in Tights and whatnot, where this kind of anchors from. You know what I'm saying? And I still stand by what I said yesterday. Curiosity versus the cat. Pura Vida. Is that Colette? Are you both watching at the same time? I'm taking a wild guess that that's Colette, because if so, that's hilarious. But like, I think the Wines like don't get where they are without a like they're funny on their own, but it's clear that Mel kind of laid the foundation for that kind of spoof comedy and whatnot, man. So I think that was really well done, and I am disappointed in myself it took me that long to see Blazing Saddles. I think the moment that stood out for me the most was him holding himself up when all the white people were like, the sheriff's a net, and they keep ringing the bell or whatever, and then when he finally shows up, they pull their guns at him, and he's like, freeze, and then gets it, and they're like, oh my God, like that was fantastic, man. I think that was really, 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 really funny. And I saw an article where people were apparently saying that Blazing Saddles was racist, and that's where I again kind of go back to, this is where I think the death of like media literacy has been going on for a while, because when you really look at that, are some of the characters in the movie acting racist? Yes, but they are being called out for their racism. They are being made fun of for being that ridiculous. And that's kind of the same thing that I felt about like Tropic Thunder and the lack of media literacy, is this idea of that whole movie is about how ridiculous Hollywood is, and how, Robert Downey Jr., for example, being in getting a surgery to be in permanent blackface, that is specifically coming from the idea of making fun of those actors that would think that is appropriate to try and win an Oscar. You know what I'm saying? That is where media literacy is important. What is it actually being said about this thing? And are you making the people that do that look like good people? Like, for example, that's one of the things about like Always Sunny. Those 5 characters are 5 of the worst people ever that you've ever seen. And you don't praise them, you laugh because of how bad of people that they are, those characters. You know what I'm saying? So when they have this ridiculous scheme of trying to get more black people in the bar, that shit, and then in doing so, like going to the hood and acting all like ridiculous and whatnot, that shit is funny because of that. You know what I'm saying? So because we know they're assholes, and because we are we can laugh at them being pieces of shit. Like the Dennis Method episode, which is one of the funniest fucking episodes, but it's the same thing. Dennis is a piece of shit. So all that being said, man, I really hope, because it was announced earlier this year that Mel Brooks is doing Spaceballs 2. I really, really hope that Spaceballs 2 can hold it down, man, because, the first one holds a very special place in my heart, and there's just a big fear that it's just not gonna be there, because like obviously Mel's older and it's still gonna hit the same way. Like those are some of my concerns. But if I had to rate this, man, I gotta give this like a solid 4.5. I would have give it a perfect 5. I just feel like older movie, some of the pacing just isn't great at times. Sometimes it drags, not for long, but for moments it certainly drags. But when it's hitting and it's hitting hard. So for those that didn't get to do the watch along, again, I am editing that. The aim is to have that one out for y'all by Friday, and then the full unedited for Patreon and YouTube members and all that will be there to be able to see it. But yeah, we've got some other dope movies that are going to be coming out as far as reactions. Tonight after the stream is over, I'm actually going to be reacting to K-pop Demon Hunters, and I'm going to try and get that out pretty quickly too. Obviously it's killing at the box office for the little short run it did for the sing-along. It's got like 7 songs in the top 10 right now. Like, K-Pop Demon Hunters is crushing, and I know Sony feels kind of crazy about the fact, we talked about this on Blurred's last week, got to be kicking themselves that they thought it was going to be bad. So I'm excited though, because everybody that I've heard says it's absolutely fantastic. So I am very much ready for it. What is that, treasure chest? Why did your little thingy go off, bro? Damn it. Son of a bitch. Oh, there it is. Oh, nice. Hell yeah, I needed that. Nope, I still haven't seen K-Pop Demon Hunters, man. And again, I've heard all good things, but that's exactly why. And I didn't get a chance to see Weapons yet either. When Weapons drops on digital, I'll be doing a live reaction to that too. So again, a lot of that stuff popping off, and I'm pretty excited about it. Colette says, I love K-Pop Demon Hunters. I was telling Kristen about it last night and about the Billboard rankings. Yeah, it's pulling an Encanto right now, where that had same thing, like some 4 or 5 songs on the charts, and this has got like 7. I think, in all honesty, Joseph Ashley, I do think that K-Pop Demon Hunters will probably win animated Oscar at this rate. I'm trying to think of other animated films that have dropped this year. But the tools worth. Now that they're gone, I feel like. Oh damn. So I honestly think that it will probably win it, just based off of what everybody is saying, and I'm pretty excited about it. I would have like 20 more minutes of character development, but it was awesome. All right, you got me hyped. Zootopia 2, I'm sure will do well, but I just don't like, unless Zootopia 2 is like Toy Story 3, and you're just pulling on every sort of heartstring. I don't. It sounds like it probably will not beat Demon Hunters, just based off of the hype and everything else. To answer your question, some of my most anticipated the rest of the year. Let me actually pull that list up. I do have that. Let's see. Okay. So we've got. Let's see. That's out. Okay, so him. I cannot wait for him. That shit looks so fucking good. Cannot wait for that at all. Smashing Machine, I heard today got a 15-minute standing ovation at I think it was the Venice International Film Fest. So I'm excited about that. Let's see. Looks like Mortal Kombat 2 got pushed. Now You See Me, Now You Don't. I love the Now You See Me movies. I know the second one wasn't as good, but I loved it. So I'm looking forward to that. Wicked 2, Wicked for Good. Zootopia 2. I don't actually care about Avatar Fire and Ash, but I anticipate it just because obviously two of the most successful movies of all time in the first 2. So there's that too. The Long Walk, which I'm excited. I'm going to an advanced screening of that in a week. So next Tuesday. So keep an eye out for my Out of the Theater reaction next Tuesday. And then I'll get my review up on that, within the next day or so after that. I've heard mixed things about Caught Stealing, but I'm planning on trying to see that at some point this week as well. But I think my most anticipated by far is him. It looks so good. I am a Jordan Peele stan, and so him producing on this got me hyped up. Marlon is an incredible actor, but he's actually a fantastic dramatic actor, like for those that haven't seen all of his stuff, so I'm really excited about that. But yeah, no. And to answer y'all's question, no. Animated is like purely like it needs to be the rule, not the exception. So for example, the Lego movie, which has a live action Will Ferrell in it, counted as an animated film because 99% of the film is animated versus a Avatar it's CGI, but it's meant to be a realistic thing, and you're acting with humans the whole time. Same thing with, say, How to Train Your Dragon. That was a live act. They even said it multiple times. It's a live action remake, even though you have the CGI in it. Because if that's the case, for example, then you would make the argument if Minecraft were animated, then you could argue that like the Avengers is, because Ultron isn't actually there the whole time. He's a CGI construct, and the Hulk isn't actually there the whole time. He's a CGI construct. You know what I'm saying? So nah, it has to be a majority animation on the like as the solid medium. So just as like a kind of idea of how that works. So no, I think K-pop will probably corner that market. Not this little girl trying to ski. Bro, you're like 7. Why are you trying to scheme on a 20-year-old? That's actually pretty funny. Nominated for Best Picture? No, it's not. It's not that they hate it, but there is certainly a stigma that gets put on animated films, which is kind of great. So let me see. Because Toy Story 2 also got nominated for Best Picture. Animated feature films nominated for Best Picture. Okay, so it looks like there's only been 3. Beauty and the Beast, Up, and Toy Story 3. I didn't realize Up was also nominated. But I think that's kind of why they eventually just made the feature film, the animated category, just because of that. Now, it cleans up a lot on music, because obviously a lot of animated movies are musicals. So they're all over the place there. But yeah, it's pretty rare for them to win outside of the animated category, because just like looking at this here, what didn't win any for Best Picture. Pinocchio and Dumbo won for Best Original Score. Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Lion King, Pocahontas all won for score. Up won for score. Soul won for score. Original Song, Pinocchio for When You Wish Upon a Star. Little Mermaid for Under the Sea. Beauty and the Beast for Beauty and the Beast. Aladdin for A Whole New World. Lion King for Can You Feel the Love Tonight. Pocahontas for Colors of the Wind. Prince of Egypt for When You Believe. Tarzan, You'll Be in My Heart. Monsters Inc. If I Didn't Have You. Toy Story 3, We Belong Together. Frozen, Let It Go. Coco, Remember Me. So won a lot of music and a lot of sound, but yeah, it doesn't tend to win the other stuff. So I don't know if it's hate, but I think it falls in the same thought process of why comedies don't get nearly as much respect at the Oscars as well. There is definitely a pompous kind of air, and especially with the older voters, of what constitutes a classic, an Oscar-worthy affair. Like they even said about in the anonymous article that came out a couple years ago. I'm trying to remember who was up at the time. It may have been, it was 2 years ago. Let me see. The 2023 Oscars. Okay, let's see. But for example, when you had the year that we were thinking that Angela Bassett was going to win for Wakanda Forever, for Queen Ramonda, and Jamie Lee Curtis won, and then you had the anonymous people coming out and being like, well, it just can't be black everything, this whole Oscar's so white or whatever. Viola already got one, so that should be enough, right? comments like that, or being like, oh, this type of person, they're not really Oscar like worthy people quite yet. You know, they'll get there eventually. We'll see. Like things like that. Those kind of comments where you still have the old guard playing gatekeeper to a lot of this shit. So it'll change over time, but they gotta die first. You know what I'm saying? Like, or quit. One or the other. It doesn't have to be death. They gotta quit. But like, you know, the same way Jerry Jones keeps making the same stupid shit over and over again, happened with the Cowboys. It's the same thing. You're seeing the same stuff. So we will see. We will see. Hopefully the Oscars continue to evolve and kind of earn back some respect. Okay, I should probably be paying attention to the. We're gonna send you fishing. I'm gonna send you to get the potatoes, and then Mocha can help in the kitchen. I mean, with a name like Mocha, sounds like, you know, kind of knows what they're doing. But yeah, I honestly think that, like, look, Jamie Lee Curtis was good in Everything Everywhere All at Once, but in my opinion, she was like third on that list. It went Angela Bassett, Stephanie Hsu. She was the other one that they were talking about for Everything Everywhere as Joy, as the daughter. I thought that she kind of stole the show. So if it wasn't Angela, it was definitely Stephanie. But, you know, it sounds like with Jamie, that was to a certain extent, a career award. And that being, you know, like where she had been nominated for stuff in the past and never got it. Because like the year that Leo won for The Revenant, I thought he was fine. But I really thought that he had much better performances that he should have won for, and he didn't. So it felt like a career award at that point to be like, yo, Leo, look, man, you've been nominated how many times? Like what, Leo DiCaprio? Let's take a look. I want to see Leo DiCaprio. Let's see how many different Oscar noms here. Perception and acting style. Personal life accolades. Here we go. So we got nominated for Gilbert Grape, nominated for The Aviator, nominated for Blood Diamond, nominated for Wolf of Wall Street, and nominated for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which, you know, he won for Revenant before that. But, like, in my opinion, should have won, because, like, who was he up against for Gilbert Grape? Let's see. Because already, out the gate, like his first nom, he's just absolutely crushing. So supporting actor. Tommy Lee Jones won for The Fugitive. I really like The Fugitive, but come on, man, I'm giving that to Leo for Gilbert Grape. But that's a point where, again, the older people, the gatekeepers, oh, you know, Tommy Lee's been working for a while. He's earned it, blah blah blah. Leo is young. He'll get back here, whatever. Okay. I haven't seen The Aviator, so I can't speak on it. But like Blood Diamond, fantastic in Blood Diamond. Let's see who won that particular year. He was nominated for actor. Okay, Forrest Whitaker won for The Last King of Scotland. That's kind of hard. Not much you can do about it. Will Smith was also fantastic in The Pursuit of Happiness. Hey, maybe if he had won then, he wouldn't have slapped Chris Rock because he would have already had the Oscar. But then like Wolf of Wall Street. This one's rough because I feel like I remember that particular year. I probably would have given it to him. It's not rough. Matthew McConaughey was good in Dallas Buyers Club. But Leto stole the show from him, and I honestly think it should have been Leo for Wolf of Wall Street, and then Leto for Dallas Buyers Club. I thought that was a weird win to have. I love Matthew McConaughey. I love Matthew McConaughey, but I thought that Leo was on a whole other level playing Jordan Belfort. I genuinely on a whole other level. Just the scene alone of him on the Quaaludes trying to climb up the stairs with like his chin so he can get to the Lambo and try and race back home, bro. Other level shit. And for him to not win there is crazy to me. And especially then to compare what he did there with the Revenant, which again was good, but the Bear did better acting than he did in the Revenant, in my opinion, the CGI Bear. But it is what it is, man. Okay, so let's see some of the other questions that people are asking. Let's see. My favorite Final Fantasy game, probably 10. This has a special spot in my heart, though. 9 does. This was the very first one I ever played. I like 8 a lot, but I think 10 is my favorite. I didn't have a PS1 when Final Fantasy VII came out, so I missed that whole train where everybody was obsessed with it. I started playing the remake on PS4, but once my PS4 Sony account got hacked, I was just, thank you for waiting. Oh, okay. I will follow you then. Cool. I didn't get to finish the game, which sucks. I would like to, but I'm not. I spent so much money on that Sony account. If Kristen's still watching, she knows I was beside myself that it got hacked. I tried. A lot of companies don't let you call people anymore. I tried desperately to call Sony to get my account back and everything that I could do to do that, and they just wouldn't do it. And I had spent a G to $1,500 on like games and shit for that PS4 throughout the pandemic and the couple years after that. Most of them on sale, but all that kind of shit. And I was just fucking over it, man. How many people were for wins the game? Five-Boy Movie, and I guess I should. Man, what a hater. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, and the 4, so 10. Am I supposed to be paying attention? Because I don't remember this cooking sequence. I feel like I am. That's probably not good. Okay, how many to account for? Yeah, it was definitely 10. 4 party members, and then the 6 moguls, yeah. Alright, so let's see. But yeah, that's that. What else? Some of my favorite scores this year so far. Let me take a look. I gotta take a look at the movies that I know I've seen. I mean, Sinners. The score on Sinners is crazy. The Superman score is great. How to Train Your Dragon and F1 scoring is great. Those were all really, really good. And at the top of my list right now would be the top scored movies for sure. What else? Does look like if 2 black actors in the same category some janky met to eliminate each other? Yes and no. I think previously, I think we finally got into a place where like black actors are just getting their due pretty regularly. Like for example, Brian Tyree Henry just had a nomination and shit like that. You know what I mean? So I think that's a really good example of a movie that I hadn't really heard of. Should I put the hell up? I found in the. No, why would I put a bug in the food? Girl. Oh, caught a fish. Oh shit. Three, 1, 2, 3, come on. Oh shit. Of course, it's fucking Q, and I didn't account for her ass. God damn it. No, I was a big fan of F1 as well, and the scoring as well. Out of his role as a wall guard. Ball has been typical of so many traffic generations. Oh. Alright, I gotta go get a girl. Dagger, where did you go? There you are. Come on. But yeah, scoring wise, that's it. And I would say so far, my top movies of the year are Sinners, Final Destination, Bloodlines, Fantastic Four, Superman, Thunder, in no particular order except for Sinners being my number one. Superman, Thunderbolts, How to Train Your Dragon, F1, The Naked Gun, and Freakier Friday. I've seen more than that. I just haven't had a chance to update my list quite yet. I was okay on Mickey 17, on Brave New World, on Drop, on Novocaine, and then I really didn't like Electric State, Straw, and Heads of State. I thought those were all bad. I've seen more than that. I just haven't updated my list here. I need to do that. But I'm very curious to see which of these end up at the end of the year getting a lot of nominations. I think that F1 will probably get a lot of like sound mixing and stuff, potentially the scoring as well. I think obviously Sinners is going to be all over the place. It'd be a tragedy if it wasn't. I think Weapons is probably slated to do something. I think there's going to be a lot of good stuff that's just going to go off. Holy place for the Summoner tribe. Lady Eagle comes here every day to pray and burn incense for her ancestors. Atmos, that's Bahamut. Wow. Sorry, we're learning a little bit about the summons real quick, and then I'll get back to my train of thought. We'll get it back. Want to look at the mural some more? Okay. All right, do you? They name this world Gaia, and they consider the elven guardians of this planet. They attempt to become one with nature through their summon magic research. The tribe migrated to this location 500 years ago, but now okay. Right. Oh, Lord. Destiny's Child, Vampire Hunters, the K-pop Demon Hunters. That's funny. I mean, I've said this. I really want to see it could be a prequel. I would say a prequel makes the most sense. But I would love to see a prequel or a spin-off of Sinners. Just of the Native American vampire hunters that show up and try and kind of stop all their shit from happening. They were so interesting in just that moment. I was like, bro, I want to know all about them. How long have they been doing this? Like, do they just hunt vampires? All that kind of stuff. I honestly think that they would be really good. It would be a really, really good movie just to see what that's like. Oh, damn. Oh, son of a bitch. I hope this works out. This dinner's about to be trash. I have a feeling. Go back in here. But yeah, so I think it'll be an interesting award season just to kind of see how things go one way or the other. You're still just looking at this, so I can't do anything else. I should just okay. But yeah, man, I'm very much. I've heard good things about The Long Walk. I think that it sounds like it's going to be fantastic. And I'm totally fucking here for it. So I've heard that it's also terrifying. I know I'm not the biggest fan of scary movies, but I feel like I knew it. Oh, Graham Greene died? Oh no. that true? Oh, shit. Oh, wow. Damn, RIP. That's fucking crazy, man. Oh. Wow, dude, that sucks. That's what I know what Dances with Wolves. He did a lot of stuff, though. Hold on, let's see. Go to his page. So yeah, what? Green Mile, Wind River, Maverick, Dances with Wolves. What else, man? Tulsa King. He was in an episode of that. Forgot he was in Echo, which was a fine show, but he was good. Reservation Dogs. Forgot he was in The Last of Us. Been working forever, man. Oh, man. Well, shout out Graham Greenman, sending love and healing energy to his family. RIP to a real one. Like, yeah, I think it said something about, like, him even being... Oh, okay, he was a Canadian First Nations actor who really kind of opened up stuff for Indigenous actors in Hollywood. That's, yeah, man, that's absolutely nuts. R.I.P. for sure. But yeah, so... he was in Twilight. You know, I haven't finished that. Don't say that too loud or Matt will come screaming him in all caps about when I'm going to finish Twilight. Damn, everybody dead? Oh, shit. That's not funny, but damn. She really is trying to get with. She really is trying to get with the Dane. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. All right, well. Damn, I guess she's not gonna help no more. That's a 4. That'll be hopefully later. All right, buddy, pick up the pot. If considered for the role, do you think you see David Johnson as T'Challa? David Johnson. I mean, I haven't seen. I don't think I've seen anything that he's been in, so I'll have to wait and see. The look is there enough for sure. I gotta wait and see what he looks like, or how he does in the long run, because I've never seen any of his movies, so I can't really speak to it honestly. But we'll see. We will certainly see, man. I really liked the who they've been throwing around. I mean, people have been throwing around Jameson. I would love Jameson Idris to take the role. I think he would kill it, personally. Loved him in Swarm. Loved him in F1. Haven't seen Snowfall, but I've heard nothing but good things. Yeah. He was really good in Black Mirror as well. I'm trying to remember the Smithereens episode. Is that the one with the sniper? Yeah, I think it was the one with the sniper. That sounds about right. But Dameson's my pick currently for T'Challa. So we'll see. Twilight movies are so man. I really don't see what fancy in the friend. I think I saw rumor they're making a reboot. Like, look, I have said the same thing, but I think it's like a lot of different movies or TV shows. If you had to be there. So like so for example, my lady loves the Twilight movie. I think if I remember correctly. And anybody that really likes them, it's because it was what was on when you were at that age, and so it just became like a thing. It is what it is. But something in my face. There, it's sealed and everyone, we can't get in. Sealed, did you seal it? Well, if I was born with a sealed law that we fled to summon the infantry. If our custom to seal it, fled it, and we were to resummon it. No way, it's not like we're gonna do anything bad. Crazy. Damn, that sucks. Poor Muggle just wants to be done. Ooh, coffee. What do to do with his coffee? That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't have any hate for people that are into it, but it's just not for me. I'm watching them because I said I would, but I'm just not. I'm not rocking with it personally. I mean, probably will make it a TV series. Making everything TV series, they're rebooting it. Rebooting Harry Potter. I can't remember what. I think they're if I remember correctly, aren't they like I know they did the Amazon Wheel of Time or whatever it was, but I feel like I read something that they're doing the Lord of the Rings, like the Fellowship Two Towers and Return as like a TV series as well, I think. Crazy. But yeah. Oh man. All right, let me check something really quick. Boom, ba-doom. Man, oh man. Okay, so real quick, there was some stuff I wanted to talk about. Let's switch gears for a second. I'll come back to the game. I did want to talk about some stories real quick that came up. Like I said, we're not doing the full blurred breakdown proper, but We did have this. Snoop did respond to the backlash of his recent comments about the Lightyear lesbian kiss. This is Josh Walding from Comic Book Movie. Pixar's Lightyear features a lesbian couple who kisses and are shown to have a child together. It caused a minor stir online at the time, but was recently brought back to the forefront of everybody's mind by rapper Snoop Dogg. He explained that his grandson had some questions about the scene, expressing confusion that two women could have a baby together. Snoop was unimpressed, saying, "I didn't come in for this shit. I just came to watch a goddamn movie," and admitted that it fucked me up. I'm like scared to go to the movies. Y'all throw me in the middle of shit that I don't have an answer for. Grammy-nominated artist has since come under fire, with some even calling for him to be dropped as a performer from Australia's AFL Grand Final football match. In response, his comments were edited out of the full podcast, only to have it uploaded as a YouTube short when fans called out the attempted cover-up. As we first reported on TuneNATO.com, Snoop himself has issued something of an apology to his fans by acknowledging the backlash in a comment posted to Instagram. "I was just caught off guard and had no answer for my grandsons," he wrote. "All my gay friends know what's up. They've been calling me with love. My bad for not knowing the answers for a 6-year-old. Teach me how to learn. I'm not perfect," the rapper acknowledged. This comes after Lightyear writer Lauren Gunderson responded to Snoop's comments by saying, "So, I created the Lightyear Lesbians in 2018. I was a writer at Pixar. Such a cool place. Grateful to work there. Learned a ton from kind and impressive creatives. As we wrote early versions of what became Lightyear, a key character needed a partner, and it was so natural to write she instead of he. As small as that detail is in the film, I knew the representational effect it could have. Small line, big deal. I was elated that they kept it," she continued. "I'm proud of it. To infinity, love is love." Lightyear released in 2022, but was a box office flop, only grossing $226 worldwide, losing Disney and Pixar upwards of $100 million. Okay. Yep. All right. So just really quickly, I mean, it kind of goes to what I was talking about. Oops. Which one is it? Is it this? Nope. Sorry. There we go. It kind of goes to what I was talking about of like his comments didn't seem like they came from a place of malice. It seemed like they came from a place of kind of ignorance from an older person in the black community, man. And like, should he have done better to just be able to talk about that situation? Absolutely. That kind of response feels more like people got pissed off, so I feel like I got to say something about it. Poop shoot. It did pop up. I'll post your super chat in a minute here. I'm just finishing up doing these stories first. It was just it again. I stand by the fact that, like, you know, I'm just talking about it now just to kind of follow up on what was, you know, kind of a big deal like a week, 2 weeks ago. I guess it's only been a week. It's crazy. Because it did hurt a lot of people. That got just to re-deal with that whole scenario. But I think, again, trying not to give too much life to that situation, in that we got to stop putting, I guess, celebrities in on this pedestal of crazy importance. You know what I'm saying? And I think the response to when something like that comes out, and I said this on Blurs in the Hood, that's 1,000% where, like, you know, Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe have their show together, their podcast. Shit, have Snoop on and just have a conversation, man. You know what I'm saying? I thought about it after we talked about it, but like the fact that, like, Snoop obviously is friends with, like, Da Brat and everything, and Da Brat just had a baby with her partner. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it exists. You literally could have been like, hey, grandson, you know, we gonna talk to your auntie Brat afterwards. You know, she can explain some more, and leave it at that. Leave it at your grand auntie Brat, and leave it at that, and stuff like that. So, am I glad he apologized? Sure, but it doesn't feel like it came out of a place like, oh man, this is horrible, and I couldn't sleep, and blah blah blah. It just feels like he realized he got himself into trouble and tried to, you know, get himself out of it. But let me know what you think. If you kind of hear that and you feel, oh, interesting. T.S. Madison apparently spoke on this. Why don't we listen to this real quick? I'm gonna pull this back up. Let's see. Oh, where's the audio? Can't hear the audio at all. Oh no. That's annoying. I would certainly like to hear that audio. Let's make sure that we can hear anything at all, because I don't know why. Let's see. Whoops. Make sure I can hear a little bit. Not actually going to watch this video. I just want to make sure that. Okay, so my audio is fully out. I don't know why. Let me see. Yeah, what the fuck is going on? Oh, is it this? Let's try this. Nope. It doesn't want to play at all. That's crazy, bro. What is happening? Oh, it moved to my... God damn it. All right, let's try this. All right, what about now? Now I think I'm okay. It just got caught in a feedback loop. Let's see. Okay, so let's see if we can hear what T.S. Madison was saying.
And I question is, Snoop, you have music videos with
Here, we'll refresh.
based off expression. So my question is, Snoop, you have music videos with women dancing and kissing other women, dancing naked. So why is displaying lesbian behavior in your music videos appropriate, and you are afraid to answer the questions from your grandchildren?
So wait a minute. There's an answer to that, which is that the videos that he does for his music videos for adults, they're not like.
I think he would say that they're not for kids. Those music videos aren't for kids.
I know that would be the setting and that would be the answer, but as a person who understands how kids work, kids see everything. Kids see everything. They see music videos. They hear lyrics. They hear these things.
But T.S., that's where parenting comes in, right? I mean, you're right. Kids, if you just let them, they can see everything.
Is based off expression. So my question is, and I'm glad you said that's where parenting comes in, because as a parent, you should also explain to your children that other things exist in the world outside of what you have deemed normal in your own home.
Let me ask you something, because I'm gay. And I get the points you're making.
I actually didn't know that.
But at the same time, maybe at a certain age you do bring things up, but at ages that are earlier than that, kids that are younger, a parent can say, I'm not ready to talk to them about it yet. I mean, that doesn't make them homophobic if they say, I don't want to talk to them about all this until a certain age.
It's rooted in a bit of homophobia.
Is it? Is it, though?
A little bit. It is rooted because...
It can be. It certainly can be.
I mean,
I don't know if it is.
I mean, I'm going to pause right there. It definitely is rooted in a bit of homophobia because, again, we don't have a problem with just literally watching even Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, like the movies that we show these kids. Aladdin out here chasing after Jasmine, they kiss and shit at the end. Like, nobody's showing sex. I think just the idea of just showing two people being in love and sharing a kiss, I think that is a pretty standard thing you can show to a kid, and you just say they're in love. That's what people in love do. I don't think it's that big of a deal. If Lightyear had been like, here comes a full sex scene, that's a kid's movie. So then fine, but you don't show sex scenes in any kids' movies. So that's where, yes, I think that TS is spot on there. I do think it is kind of rooted in homophobia.
But you also, you're never afraid to talk to your kids about having a little boyfriend or a little girlfriend at a certain age.
But
I'm glad you said that's a certain age. I know that we've been conditioned to be able to like understand heteronormative activity. We've been conditioned to that because that's all we see. Because we've always, as queer people, been pushed to the side and swept under. So it is time for us to have these uncomfortable conversations. Maybe not at 4. Maybe Papa will explain that to you in a year or so. Just watch the movie at a certain age.
And I think that's another thing you could say. You could go exactly that. That's a longer conversation, grandson. You're gonna talk to your daddy about that in a year or two. Like that. There are ways to do that without essentially just coming off saying wild shit. You know what I'm saying? So
I took my grandson to see
because this was the comment
movie with Buzz Light.
Toy Story?
Not that one, but
the new Buzz. The Lightyear. I think it's called Lightyear.
With Kiki Palmer's in that movie.
Okay.
She plays like the daughter. So we watching it, and the lady, which is Kiki's mama, they move on into the space years. They move down the line. They're like, man, she had a baby with a woman. Well, my grandson in the middle of the movie like, Papa Snoop, how she have a baby with a woman? She a woman. Oh, shit. I didn't come in for this shit. I just came to watch the goddamn movie. Hey, man, watch the movie. They just said she had a baby. They both women's. How did she have a baby? Shh. The movie ain't over with. So it's like, fuck me. I'm scared to go to the movies now. Like, y'all throwing me in the middle of shit that I don't have an answer for. I took my grandson to see.
Like, again, watching it in context, like, it just seems like Snoop is old and stoned, and he's telling a story, and I still think that it could have been handled better, even retelling the story and shit like that. But yeah, I'm just thinking of the, like you said, finish the movie and then be like, you can talk to your dad about it later, or like you remember, like I said, you remember your auntie Brat, she just had a baby, and she's in love. I think it's just as simple as just. We don't need to make it as taboo as people want to make it seem, because I think that TS is right. That is what then gets rooted in homophobia. Again, if you want to have a whole conversation about, like, there are conversations about pride where sometimes at pride there are people that are dressing very sexually clad and things like that, and it is supposed to be open for like people of all ages and stuff like that. If you want to have that conversation about how that's not as okay, we can have that, and I think that makes sense. But I think something is just as simple as a queer family just existing is not a big deal. I really don't think it's a big deal, but I don't know. I've talked this to death. Let me know what you think, in the comments and everything else like that, man. Let's see. I see what Epsilon Audio says. We again. I get why Snoop felt awkward about it. Being an older guy from a time where parents didn't discuss gay relationships openly, so for him, now he just might need to get adjusted to how things are now. He embraced queer people in general. I'm pretty sure he just didn't know how to navigate it, even though it isn't that crazy to us. It's not a huge deal like he's making it out to be, but again, he's in an older generation, and he's more set in his ways. I mean, yeah, and that's kind of what I was saying. I have said again and again, it doesn't mean that you excuse it, but I think it's just understanding that it's the, like, my parents, I love them both dearly. They're very progressive and forward thinking, and then sometimes they say some shit and I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like it's just it is what it is, and it's one of those things where unless they are hardcore saying something straight up bigoted and don't and have no inkling to like whatever, then that's a different conversation. But if they just say some shit and then you sit and you go, bro, Dad, you can't be talking like that. Mom, you can't be talking like that. This is why this, that, and the other. Like, I remember my mom. Oh, God, if you ever see this, funny. But I remember her specifically saying to me and my sister, about one of my sister's friends, being like, oh, I didn't know so-and-so was gay. And I was like, who? They're like, your little friend so-and-so. I was like, she's not gay. What are you talking about? Yes, she is. She got that haircut. She got that short haircut. I'm like, Ma, do you think that all women with short haircuts are gay? And she's like, are they not? Like, it was, I was like, okay. It's that. So I just say all that to say I think the main reason why the Snoop thing was as big of a deal as it is when you have the slight track record of him playing at the most recent inauguration and him having as big of a platform, the millions upon millions of people that listen and follow him and listen to his music and all that kind of stuff. And that's where it came from. But anyway, let's move on from the story. The other one I wanted to talk about was, let's see, right here. So Chloe Bennett is talking about a possible return to the MCU and took a shot at Secret Invasion, this Josh Wilding reporting. Love or hate it, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., there's no denying that the show included heaps of memorable moments and characters worthy of an appearance in the wider MCU. Chloe Bennett's Quake falls into the latter category, and while her journey from being Skye to Daisy Johnson was undeniably convoluted, she's someone fans are eager to see on screen again. Rumors about a potential return have swirled for years, with Bennett being both teased and denying her involvement in the MCU on multiple occasions. Unfortunately, despite claims that Marvel Studios is bringing her back, the latest update from the actor isn't an overly positive one. Talking at Dragon Con, Bennett told fans, "I'm not playing a bit. This isn't a joke. I don't know anything. They haven't asked me." She added, "Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't considered canon, but I agree that I should have been in Secret Invasion. It probably would have been better." Yeah, it wasn't very good. Girl, maybe be good, happy that you weren't in it. The series initially received good reviews based on the first 2 episodes offered to critics, but when they and fans got to see the remainder of the season, the tide turned. It now sits at a rotten 53%. And that's true. The first 2 episodes were good, and then it became just shit. The debate about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. canon status continues. Several MCU projects have contradicted the events of the series, and while early seasons were closely tied to the movies, that changed as time went on. The comic book Quake has ties to teams like the Secret Warriors and even the Avengers, so who knows how it should be utilized if Marvel Studios does have a supposed return in mind. As noted, Bennett was introduced in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as a newly created character called Skye. However, as the series progressed, we learned that she was in fact Daisy Johnson, an Inhuman. Skye eventually gained superpowers like her comic book counterpart, became the superhero known as Quake. Bennett's shown as the version of the character, and while changes would need to be made to Daisy, we're guessing she'd be a mutant rather than an Inhuman, as she normally is. Many franchises could benefit from Quake's involvement. We're really just not included in the new Marvel, whatever universe they're in now, Bennett said last November, which is, I'll say it here, a shame for Marvel. I think they're undermining a fan base and all those characters that I think have a much bigger of an impact than people may realize, and I would love to do something again. I don't think I'm done playing Daisy. That's not saying I know anything. I've never been approached to do anything. It just doesn't feel like I'm done. I was 20 to 27 doing that show. I was a child. I'd be interested in playing Daisy as a real adult. Yeah, man, I was a fan of that show. There were definitely down times in the show where I was like, this is not great, but there was a lot of good stuff. And I really like specifically Chloe Bennett. I thought that she was fantastic. Knew of the character Quake, but really got to know her more so after watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Went and found some books with her in it and whatnot. I think it's a really interesting character. And so, and the powers in general, like her ability to essentially create tremors and things like that, very similar to like Avalanche. But she seems to be significantly more powerful because she uses her abilities to fly and all sorts of stuff. But I would love to see her in there. Hopefully she gets to have that comeback and be in the MCU proper. Of all characters, she would be the one to definitely do so. So we're going to cross our fingers and we'll see what happens. All right, let me go ahead and read that super chat that came in. Give me a second here. Full screen. Okay, let's see. All right, so Poot Shoot says the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake is legit awesome, bro. What was the most surprising moment of college football week 1? Take care, man. Have a great stream. Poot Shoot, Riot, thank you so much for that question. I'll be honest, man. I don't really watch college football. It's never been my thing. I went to a D3 school, so I just never had one. I think right now the 2 biggest surprises that stick out of my mind is TCU is getting in that ass, and Bill Belichick does not look good in his first coaching appearance. And then I'd probably say just because the number was so huge, well, Texas losing to OSU was kind of wild. I did see part of that. The fact that Alabama is never going to be what it was again, it really feels like they look like that era is forever over, the way FSU got in that ass. But the one that stood out for me was USC. Just, what was it, like 70 something? Let me see if I can find that score. Hold on, because it was pretty crazy. SC. Not listed here. Let's go to scores. It'll probably be over here. Yeah, it was something nuts, man. Why can I not find this score to save my life? What is wrong with me? Just make me Google it the old way. I should have done it in the first place. USC score football. Yeah, it was 73-13. That's insanely embarrassing. And I kind of feel bad. Like, you didn't have to whoop up on these children so badly, bro. Like, god damn, 73-13. But hey, it is what it is, man. That's pretty crazy. I mean, that's a strong way to start off your season. So yeah, I am excited about the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. I didn't realize that Metal Gear Solid Delta had dropped. I thought we still had some time, but I guess not. I guess it's out now. The only thing that I think, if I'm not mistaken, Delta is just Snake Eater, right? Because if so, I had really hoped that they were going to finish out and put 3 and 4 in here, and maybe they will. They'll do it later. Yeah, it's been out now. Oh, man. Okay. I'll have to go back and definitely cop that, because I love me some Metal Gear Solid. But, yeah, I really hope that they come back and they do a re-release of Metal Gear Solid 4. Because replaying through 1 and 2 was fantastic. That really made my life. And I remember Snake Eater being really good, but it wasn't really my favorite. My favorite was definitely 1 and 2. 1 and 2 were fantastic, and I only played 4 one time. I borrowed somebody's PS3 so I could do that. So I'm crossing my fingers. I guess if they're waiting on it to sell well, I guess I got to do my part. So I'll have to look into getting that soon, and then we'll play that on the channel as well. Because again, Metal Gear Solid games are fun, especially the sniping missions, especially the one in Metal Gear Solid 3. Snake Eater was with the end, the old man that could literally not move for weeks at a time, and like if you wanted to beat him, I think you just I think what it was is you left your game on for like literally for a week or something, and he would just die of old age. Like, just don't move, and he would just die of old age, which is hilarious. Always really creative ways to beat some of these bosses and whatnot, man. So, all right. So let's see. Cover the stories I wanted to get into. Got the super chats, and the Streamlabs. All right. Well, let's see. Oh yeah, I really do hope that they put Acid was dope. Metal Gear Solid Acid was dope. It was essentially like the card strategy game. Loved that. So yeah, put that with Portable Ops and Peace Walker. Let that round it out. I think that would be a great way to end these remakes. But that is where I'm going to actually end this show. I am realizing that I actually have a decent amount of work that I need to get done this evening. If you know, you know. But there's going to be lots of stuff coming up this week. One of the things I have to do work-wise, I need to go and edit Blazing Saddles. I'm also going to go watch K-Pop Demon Hunters right now and do a reaction. I'm going to put that up, hopefully, if not by this weekend, it'll be early next week. I'm going to catch that while it's still popping. I'll be on Spill the Tequila tomorrow. I will be on Capes and Cows on Friday. Again, Coy is no longer with us on the show, but he will still be on the Christian Arloff channel. And on top of that, I'm starting my reactions with Christian. I want to see the first one that we're doing is Jaws. I've never seen Jaws before, so that's the first one that Christian wants to do, especially with the 50th anniversary re-release. Don't tell Dan Merle, he'll be so disappointed in me. But that should do it, y'all. So y'all have a great rest of your Labor Day. Hopefully you got some barbecue or some pool time in or things like that. I will see y'all tomorrow, 4 p.m. Pacific time, for Spill the Tequila. Until then, I'm out of here, y'all. Peace. I'll just use this intro. Nope, not that one. I'll use this one.